All right, hello 6th grade, Miss Steele here. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to go through a tutorial and a little demonstration of Canvas, which is an app you guys should already have pre-downloaded onto your Chromebooks. And basically, Canvas is what we're going to be using for this project. You guys may have used Canvas before, maybe you haven't, but I'm just going to walk through how we're going to work on this project. So what you want to do first is you want to pull up Canvas. It should be an app on your guys' computer, so you should be able to type in your search bar and find it. I don't have it, so I have it pulled up online. And so what you want to have already done is found a picture of you want to use. You want to find a picture that kind of has a background so you can work on your background too. I'm going to give you guys 2 days to work on this. I'm going to give you guys 2 class periods to work on this. So I'm not going to post a new lesson in 3 days. I'm going to give you guys what would be 2 class periods to work on these. Art Pop selfies. So what you're going to want to do is go to New from Image, and already have a picture saved of you that you want to use. I have this one right here. So I have this one of me in Colorado. And so this is a picture I'm going to use that I'm going to turn into kind of like an Art Pop self-portrait, a pop art self-portrait. So really the big focus here is all of these layers. So right up here in the corner, if you click on this, these are layers. So what these are going to do is provide you different layers to work on. So let's say I put something on this top layer. Let's do just like a black squiggle just to show you there are all these different tools you guys are going to be able to play around with. There's a pencil, a pen, a marker, chalk, and an eraser. So let's say I want to do just this. Let's make it larger. So I'm going to do this on this top layer, as you guys can see. So if I go to one of these lower layers, it's going to be underneath. It's going to be layers and layers underneath. So let's do some chalk and red underneath. So now that is completely underneath there. So that's what those layers provide. And then you can delete a layer by just clicking on this little trash can. This makes it to where you can view a layer or take it away. So that's what that does. So maybe I don't want this anymore. I want to see what it looks like without. So that's how you can play around with that. But what we're going to do is I just wanted to show you guys the layers and how to pull up a photo of you to start from a new image. I'm going to go to one. I'm going to delete this because we don't need this. I'm going to go to the one I've been working on. So as you can see, I've already worked on myself. That's what I want you guys to do for the first day. It's kind of, you can outline yourself, you can add like shading to it. Whenever we're talking about pop art, we're talking about like bright colors, bright lines. You want to add a bunch of different layers to it to kind of make it almost look like it's cartoony. So I have a ton of different layers here. I have a layer for my sky up there. I have a layer just for these eyebrows because I zoomed in for that. To zoom in, you can just pinch zoom and then pinch zoom out. Right clicking on it allows you to drag it around too, so you can get to a different spot. But let's go back to layers. So you can see, let's just go through my layers. So I have a layer that I did for my sky, a layer for my eyebrows. Here's kind of, I don't know what I did there. Let's go back. There's the layer for my hair. You guys can see I made my hair all crazy and blue. Here is an outline it gave to me. I think that that's what's going to make it look really nice. Kind of those outlines and those like strong lines and strong colors you guys can see, kind of bright. That's what's going to make it look like it's more pop art. So there's my outline. I don't even know what this one's for. Oh, there's just little highlights. I put little highlights on me just to make it look like it's almost more 2D. I want it to almost look like flat. I added these dots all over my face to kind of make it look more comic booky. I think it looks pretty goofy. I'm pretty happy with it. I gave these back mountains some like dark lines here, and then you can see first I put chalk, and then on the layer above it I added all those like outlines. So really the only thing I have left to do is I want to make down here look like space rocks. So that's what I'm going to demo for you guys right now. I kind of walked you through how this is going to work and what this is going to look like. I told you guys that the first day of working, you guys can just focus on yourself because this took me quite a long time. You guys can just try different stuff out. If you add a layer and you don't like it, you can delete it. If you don't like something you did, you can erase it. You can kind of just like play around to see like what you want to add and kind of like how you can make it your own. But what I want to do is I've already decided that down here, I want to make these rocks look more flat. I want them to look kind of like space rocks. So I'm going to make it super bright. So I need a new layer. But the problem is, I want these rocks to kind of like be behind all of this other stuff that I did. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag it down. And I'm going to drag it, honestly, all the way down. The only thing I want to be behind it is this stuff, because I kind of want it to look like it's in front of this stuff. And so now I'm going to go with a marker. And actually, you know what? Let's fill it in first. Let's do, let's do a marker first. I want it to look bright. So I'm going to pick a bright color. That looks very bright. And I'm going to fill this in. You can change the size right here. And then you can change basically how light or how dark you want it to be. So I want mine to be pretty dark and pretty large. And so I'm going to go through and start filling this in. And then I'll get back with you guys in 1 second. So I've filled it all in. I'm going to zoom out just to see if I like it. And I do. I kind of like how vibrant that color is. It looks pretty crazy, but this is kind of a crazy art pop self-portrait of me, so I don't really mind. So what I want to do now is I'm going to add another like thick outline right here just to kind of make it look more 2D like we were talking about. If you see in a lot of pop art, they like to add thick outlines to things, but I kind of want to keep it similar to the color it was. So let's go with this. And then I'm going to go through, kind of outline that. I don't think that's too big, so I'm going to click back. And I'm going to change the size on this. There we go. And there we go. And there we go. I'm going to go through and erase right here. Cool. And so I wanted to give it some texture like a rock, so I think I'm going to use this chalk, because I used this chalk over here and it kind of had like a pretty cool texture to it. I'm going to make this like a deeper sort of gray. Let's go ahead and make this smaller like this and see if we can get, I want it even smaller, so let's go back. But I do like how it looks. So here we go. I'm going to keep going through and adding this texture throughout. I'll be right back, you guys. Alright, so I finished adding all of that different texture. I went back with the pen and added in some other little lines. And I'm going to consider that finished. So you guys can see I have all these different layers. But the final step is going to be save as image. So that's saved. And then just taking that image and turning it into the Dropbox. That'll be in the same folder as the rest of this lesson stuff. It should say Art Pop Self-Portrait Turn-In. Pop Art Self-Portrait Turn-In. I keep mixing those two up. Alright, goodbye you guys. Have a good day.